Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Ghost Town, and this one is under the command of kosats13 of the F-Off clan. I wonder what that means.
Let's go!
Game on! Well, it's an 18cm howitzer capable of doing 800 alpha rather. But with this particular version, he's loaded nothing but the non-stun HE, and that's capable of, I think you saw it, 1000 alpha, 56mm of pen, but there's less on the burst radius, only 5 meters, so you have to get the shells really close to the target. 2 marks of excellence already on the barrel. He's looking for targets. Obviously, at this stage in the battle, you're very reliant on what your teammates will actually spot. And of course, this Arty does have a very narrow arc of fire, which is actually only 5 degrees either side of the center line, and he got a direct hit with his first shot. So any movement outside that arc will cause the reticule to bloom. And yes, you can see he hit the side of the turret of the Leopard 1, and he's lost a few hit points. You can see that straight away. Rounds out. Another hit. This one directly on the mantlet. Over on the west side of the map, an E-M suddenly turned up. And he's been joined by units 15-16 as well. Looks like the other Arty and Arty is also focusing in that area. Rounds out. And he's out the game. And that was skill, I think, this talking. So, yes, he's got skill as his commander. Now, one of the great things about the Object 261 is its fast reload. Standard reload is 30.68 seconds. We can see here he got 25.14 and he just got a direct hit, but it was a blind hit, so we didn't see how much damage was done. He's not moving between each shot at the moment, but then he's not being counter-batteried, and I think a lot of the Arty players just won't counter-battery because they find it not as productive. That's another direct hit, so whoever was there did not relocate after the shot. And now we've got a Heshbarn in place, suddenly been spotted. That makes him a priority target because of course he has very thin armor on his turret, and he can be penetrated if the shell hits the spot. Rounds out again. Another direct hit. That's got to be testing whoever's on the receiving end. If it is that UDES 15-16, he's not going to be very happy. Well, Progetto's turned up as well. Rounds out. Direct hit on the engine bay area, but didn't pen. 341 hit points from that shot. Of course, what you forego in stun, you pick up in extra damage on the enemy. That can be a problem, though, if you are trying to get an ace tanker, because you really do need to have accurate shots. And so it's only when you get to the higher levels of play that you can actually get them repeatedly. Direct hit! And that was a penetrating shot for the low roll for 994. Now that Heshbarn is now in danger because he is a one-shot. Just took another hit from the Batchat 155-58, who's also on our team. The enemy has got 2 Object 261s. And he goes down, which means we saved ourselves. So shell there, and now we can deal with that Progetto. Changes direction. Direct hit again, 372. So it is certainly paying off for Kosats to actually use the premium shells, because of course I say premium shells, but they're the shells non-stun HE. And we saw the Unis before. He's lost a lot of hit points since. But there's something else, as we saw the tracer from the enemy Arty. Oh, and the Progetto goes down. But we lose the STB-1. Now the Unis is in trouble, because of course the Centurion Action 10 is circling him very close. Unfortunately, he managed to get a round out. In fact, it wasn't him, it was a Leopard 1 who got the kill shot. And the Unis is wise to get behind that bank, because he knows that he's protected as long as he's in there. Well, over on the other side of the battlefield, the Hovey 3 has been spotted. And he's actually standing still to take a shot. And I suspect he's still there. I get the feeling that our Strip 103B has actually moved into a position where he's quite dangerous. But this Gorilla 15, which doesn't have much armor at all, really. In fact, the gun shield is no help at all. 445 from that hit. I can't tell if that one hit the hull or if it actually hit the gun shield. I don't think it would have hit the gun shield, because of course it would have gone straight through. So I can only surmise that it either hit the hull or it hit the gun itself. But there's the kill shot for the Batchat 155-58. The scores are even at the moment, so it's still anyone's battle. The Runner Sorrente is covering himself with the buildings. It's one of the few maps like Paris that has lots of buildings which can block the shot. Of course, there are other maps like Himmelsdorf that do the same. Oh, he's relocating. That was more of a speculation, estimate of where he was. Well, it looks like that Leopard 1 who got the kill shot on our Centurion Action 10 has met his end. But obviously our Object 452K has also been destroyed, so we're keeping pace with the enemy. Now, the Hovey 3 was seen in this vicinity, and the Unis just went down, so now we have an advantage. If only we could see where that Hovey 3 has gone. The Striv's changed position. He's gone up to the east side of the map, up the hill, but he's now approaching the other little hill near the cap area. And the enemy's got a Gorilla 15 somewhere in that vicinity, so we might be about to see the Hovey. And he estimates he's somewhere in there. He should be fairly close, but no, he's not there. He's not been seen, so the Hovey 3 definitely relocated. In fact, he went up the hill. Rounds up. Direct hit again, 272 non-pen, but it does make him a one-shot. Oh, that may have tracked him. That was from the Batchat 155-58. He's on the other side, on the east side of the map, right in the corner. Again, that's a very good firing position for Arty. And there's the kill shot. That means now there's 5 left on the enemy team. 2 Arty. Now, I suspect that there is an Arty in K1, because I saw a tracer coming from that direction earlier in the game. And that's also one of the reasons why the Striv didn't find anyone. Oh, and there's the Gorilla. Rounds out. Well, it was near enough. And yes, there's the Arty. The Object 261 is in K1. He's gone. The Gorilla is now down to... Oh, he's decided to go off the cliff. That could be fatal for him. Well, he did survive the fall, but he might not survive the next shell. He's a one-shot. Okay, we're lined up and rounds out. And it is a kill shot. That's 4 kills now for Kosats. There's only 2 left. One Arty. And the other one is the Runner Sorrente, who's in the town and just killed our Posh B. Now, we haven't found the other Object 261. And there he is, right in the corner, very corner. And that's a big hit for 452. And the Batchat kills him from the other side of the battlefield, just leaving the Rhinocerente on minimal hit points as well. And he goes down to the next shot from the Strip 103B, and that's victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for kosats13 of the Epov clan in the Object 261. More amazing for the fact that he didn't use any stun from that battle at all. He did it with the sheer amount of damage he did to the enemy. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. His win rate from that one was 9,769, which is super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see that the highest damage was 6,203 hit points, and it beat the next highest scorer, which was the Rhinocerente, who had a tank sniper and 4,429. When it came to the third highest, that was the BZ75 on our team, who got 3,564 before he was taken out. The Batchat 155-58 on our team also got a Confederate out of that one for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on our team. And when it came to kills, yep, he's got that one as well. Kosat's got 4 kills, but actually he was in second place. The Rhinocerente got 5 kills in the end, so he got the highest number of kills. Kosats came second, and then in third place, the BZ75 managed 3. And when it came to base XP, well, he got that one as well, because he got 999 in that one. Yes, I couldn't resist that. 948 went to the BZ75, 862 went to the Strip 103B. He fired 18 rounds in that battle. Now, the Object 261 only actually carries 20, so he only had 2 rounds left. And actually, if he had discharged one of those rounds and then approached the Rhinocerente and shotgunned him, he possibly would have ended up with the Faden's medal. He got 13 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots on tanks with light armor, 15 splashes, 6,203 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4, and he earned 44,832 credits profit from that game, as well as 7 bonds and 3,747 experience points. If we look to check and see which ones he penetrated, well, yes, he penetrated the Heshbomb, the FE4005. You can see that there. One shot, 994, went through the turret. And the other one that he penetrated, well, it appears it wasn't the Grilla. It wasn't the Object 261. Surprising. And I'm looking at the list now. Well, I'm thinking, is it the Progetto? Yes, it is the Progetto. 891 hit points, 1 penetrating shot on that guy. Yes, so the penetrating shots were these 2. So a very good round for the first game. Let's have a look at a second game. The second replay in the Object 261 is on Hinterland, which of course, as you know, is a grand battle. And the player in this case is heavy999. Now, he didn't actually send this one in. I actually found it while I was looking for somebody else's replay that they sent in. And I thought, yes, well, we have to have these 2 comparisons so we can actually see how different players work with different loadouts. And you can see Heavy's chosen 18 stun shells and 2 armor piercings. So we might get to see him shoot somebody with an armor piercing round. Now, as I said before, 800 alpha, 45 meters of pin, 9.5 meters on burst radius, between 11.5 and 29 seconds on stun. And with the armor piercing, it's 520 alpha and 334 millimeters of pen. So let's see how he gets on. HE was stunned for the first shot. There's been a lot of interest in tier 10 Arty games recently. It seems that a lot of people have actually now got tier 10s, and that tree went over because somebody pushed it. And yes, at the start of the battle, I've done that before and fired a round at the tree that went down and killed an enemy tank that was directly behind the tree, who then found out it's not a good move. You can see that somebody was actually knocking the trees down. Not sure it was that Leopard 1, might be somebody else. Grand battles are traditionally 30 versus 30, but they do have short battles. He's changing his aim. There's a big push going on this side of the map. Any shell we put on the enemy is bound to have an effect upon the enemy if they're trying to defend against the push. We're almost ready to shoot. Oh, and there's two tanks there. So he might actually try to... No, he's going for the kosats13. Unfortunately, the guy moved forward just as we fired, and so he didn't get a direct hit. I can see what Heavy is now trying to do. He's trying to get behind the attack, so there's plenty of his teammates rather between him and the enemy. Everyone's kind of spread out over the other side of the map, the east side.
That was close.
Manages to land a shell near the E3, but not close enough really to do big damage. Now the Object 261, it's based on the hull of an IS-7. It never got built because of course the IS-7 was never put into full production. Although they did actually make it as a tank, as a prototype, and it was actually a very good tank. It's a pity that they didn't go ahead and manufacture it, but in a sense actually it's a good idea, I suppose, as well. They didn't because, well, the Soviets didn't need more heavy tanks. They had plenty at that time. But if they actually had the IS-7 instead of the IS-3, then obviously they would have been much stronger. Type 5 heavy on that corner. Besides, he's not going to go for that. He's going back to that T110E3. Rounds out. Long flight time, 2 seconds. It seems like an eternity. When you're watching the game in third person, you sometimes see these shells arcing through the sky, and then you realise why it takes so long for the shell to get to the target. It's got to traverse virtually the entire map, or nearly sometimes, from one end to the other. The Leopard goes down, has to change targets again, this time a Mantic Core. It's on a ridgeline there, that's why it stopped just at the corner, and he's gone back to the E3 again. This time he does get a hit, but 316. And somebody else did as well. And I think that may have been the H999 behind him. Almost ready to go. It's going to be a 60 TP. Rounds out. Direct hit. Only 84 hit points. The surprising thing is that he has already picked up 1600 hit points of damage from stun assist alone. Go back to the E3. Rounds out. Lands in front of him. Those trees are actually acting as nice camo cover against this IS-7. Well, he pulled back just as he fired, so we didn't get to see exactly where on the vehicle it did hit. Rounds out again.
That was close.
Just in front of the tank again. Again, he fired, and he actually did pen the Tessac. So the Tessac, he looked like he was moving out of the field of fire, but he must have turned around and went back the other way, but we didn't see that because heavy999 didn't show it. So he's in my bad books at the moment because he denied us the sight of that Tessac moving out of the field of fire and then straight back into it. That must have been funny. Rounds out the 60 TP. Oh, 2 shots landed simultaneously, well, consecutively, I should say. And we did get stun assist off that one. Now up to 3,600. Only 7 shells left, though. E3 again. Dial in before you adjust. Well, the E3 just met a grisly end at the H999. We're going for the Posh. Direct hit on the Posh, and the Posh is actually taking multiple hits. Now up to 4K assist, and there the Posh goes, and he picks up the rest of stun assist. He's now up to 4K of stun assist. So this is very likely to be an ace tanker game. And the T-57 Heavy dies before we can even get a shot in. Rounds out in the AMX-30. Another hit, and it looks like he got hit by the GW H999 just afterwards as well. We're a solid 8 tanks up on the enemy at the moment. .60 TP, rounds out.
That was close.
Well, it landed behind him, but it still stunned him, and it looks like it may have done a critical hit. Well, Type 5 didn't get a kill there, but that's a kill. That's the first kill by Heavy. He's only got 1 stun shell left, and then he's on to the armor piercing. So he has to make this one count. The Manticore, funnily enough, is one of the few tanks he can penetrate. Just adjust your aim. Well, he fires, believing that the Manticore will pull back. He didn't, but he still gets him. When he gets the stun assist at least. According to the scores, I think we've only got 1 enemy vehicle left, and it's the Strip 103B. Now we're loading an armor piercing round, so we have to get a direct hit. Rounds out. Oh, that's a hit. That's a pen. 500 hit points for 1 shot, and the Strip goes down the next one. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was also an ace tanker game for heavy999 of the H999 clan in the Object 261. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16. Got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got the Confederate medal for hitting as many of the enemy, or more of the enemy, than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that one, 4,061, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at his team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Striv 103B on our team, who got 5,590. Second highest damage went to heavy999, and he got 4,163. And the third highest, well, that goes to the 60 TP on the enemy team with 3,997. So when it came to kills, the Manticore on our team got 4. 3 kills went to the TVP T5051 and also the E900 on our own team. The E900 managed to get a Spartan medal. And in third place, we can say it's the GW E900, the ST2, the Batchat 25 ton, and the Heshpan on our team. And on the enemy team, there's 60 TP, there's Striv 103B. Both of their Leopards all managed 2 kills. I'm afraid Heavy only got 1 kill, which actually places him in 4th place. When it came to base XP, though, he's right at the top with 1,131, followed by the Manticore, who managed 1,029, and the Striv 103B, 1,024. In fact, there were 4 players who all managed to get over 1,000 base, but it was Heavy that managed to get the highest amount. His combined damage was over 9k. He fired 19 rounds, so he only had 1 armor-piercing round left at the end of the game. But the round that he did fire was the only one he was ever going to get out, because there were our teammates nearby waiting for the opportunity to get a shot into that Striv. And we just got faster on the trigger to get that shell in. And yes, it did pen the Striv. It must have been quite a hit as well, because it's an 18 centimeter shell. It's quite a big one. 10 enemies were direct hits. 2 of them were penetrating shots. 17 splash. 4,163 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 12 of the enemy, and got 1 kill. So that's an 11 difference. So that must have beaten a lot of people. And 5,564 hit points of stun assist of 17 stuns. So you can see their combined damage is actually closer to 10k rather than to 9. It's definitely 9, closer to 10. 17 stuns of that, 5,564 of 17 stuns. That's again very good. He's making good use of his stun shells. On a premium count, he actually made 71,671 credits from that game. He got 7 bonds for it being tier 10 and 3,648 experience points out of it as well. So nice grand battle, very nice indeed. Second highest in the game. And if you're an aspiring Arty player, or if you're on the top notch, then you should want to be at the top when it comes to grand battle games, because you're up against tier 10 opponents and you're seeing them off and actually hitting them really hard. Hope you enjoyed both of those. The first game, of course, was kosats13 on the Lost City, the Ghost Town map. And yes, nice combination of medals. And then we see another ace tanker, also with a Gauze medal, this time with the Confederate from heavy999. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.